Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast. It's just a podcast, mate. I'm sorry if you think this is the movie for Wolf, and I'm about to press play now. Right, okay, Wolf. I just realised Wolf's on for only 2 hours. I was expecting an hour and a half. We are doing podcasts a little bit differently at the moment due to some computer errors. I love how the cloud goes across Colombia. Yeah, we're doing podcasts a little bit differently, and it's taking ages to master on a laptop. Yeah, again, I know some people like listening to these. Some people think they're audio commentaries. Some people think they're the movie. YouTube doesn't do free movies. Buy the movie, support films. Anyway, Wolf's been quite a bit of a weird one. So it's a film by Mike Nichols, and I've got massive nostalgia for this because this is like the height of when I used to go to the cinema as a kid, and it was like an event going to the cinema. You really appreciated it. And I always remember looking for the quad sheets, and I totally remember this quad, and at the time with being an 83 kid, obviously Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer were the Joker and Catwoman at this time, and I just remember seeing the quad, and I think, you know, the artwork for Wolf, Jack Nicholson appearing in the shadows, Michelle Pfeiffer sort of just like naked in the moonlight kind of picture, and there's that eerie, you know, yellow eyes, and I think it's just an amazing quad. And I always wanted to see it. I remember getting it on VHS in the countdown. I think Wolf was advertised as one of them ones where it would have the orange writing across the bottom of the screen. As it starts here as well, we get I was going to butcher his name, Eno Ramoria, the guy who did a lot of the classic westerns, but also did The Thing. Score as Jack Nicholson drives along a snowy country road, which is kind of shades of The Shining in a way. Which starts to set up this movie. There you go, Enzo Morricone. I want to butcher his name. I own the score. I've listened to it quite a lot recently. It's got a quite eeriness. It's a clear vinyl. It's got really crappy artwork. It pretty much has a CD kind of cover, and then the rest of it is like a silver square, and then about, I would say, half of the vinyl cover is a stone-like surrounding, and it's really weird. It's just got classic soundtrack series. So and the artwork's totally different on that. It's like Jack Nicholson like leering over Michelle Pfeiffer's kiss. But yeah, I've always liked it. I recently picked up the 2020 VHS when I did my Blown Away video for the two Coreys, when I needed a 2020 original box for my Blown Away video. And Wolf came, and it's actually a flip cover, as we get some really good shots of the moon. The moon is one of the hardest things to film because it's not real. Have you ever tried it? We had a low beaver moon a few weeks ago, and I stuck my camera out, and you try to zoom it in, and even on a high definition 4K camera, you know what I mean, it just doesn't happen. So yeah, I've just pulled out the VHS as we get the snowy roads and Jack Nicholson. That would be a scary ass drive, that, but again, he's just sitting in there in poor man's process. As the music really creeps in, and then all of a sudden the wolf appears, and he absolutely battens it down. There you go, boom! I mean, flies over. The Wolf is by Rick Baker. Rick Baker needs all the credit in the world because he did the King Kong suit when he was barely 20, and went up against the odds to get that role as King Kong, and has been a juggernaut force in makeup effects all the way through his career. But just looking at the VHS where I've got it here, the original VHS on the front, Nicholson, Pfeiffer, that Lumen, the animal is out, Mike Nichols film, and on the back is like the face on, Nicholson, Pfeiffer, a lot of purple, a house, a moon with the O being the moon itself, Michelle Pfeiffer looking normal, Jack Nicholson looking like a wolf. It's a really shitty cover. But again, it's part of the products of the 2020 vision when you flip them around. So yeah, the VHS has been rewound, by the way. So I'm going to put the VHS in there as the evilness creeps in here as Jack Nicholson pokes the wolf with a stick and is about to grab it. And you see the wolf peek its eye out and go, hang on, there's a little bit going on here. Then you kind of think, like, what's going on here? As I say, Nicholson poking with a stick, you know. It's quite a real. The tongue sells the wolf being dead there for sure. It's just the creepiness of the yellow eye. There we go. Eye opens, pulling the focus. Creepy as hell, and it's shut again. I'm gonna have a drink of coffee. So I'm very professional. I've got the washroom going on in the background as Nicholson's about to get bitten. There's a bit of a weird yelp and it bites him. Sort of a weird edit there, I think. It's me personally. It's one or the other. There's a twist, and then there's a shot of a dog biting, a wolf biting. But I always found this shot eerie as a kid. It's the realization, and this goes back to the never-ending story. You can see the eyes, you can see them all creeping there, and then you get focused in on just one, and it looks like it's smiling. And I think this is why I've got a bit more love for it. I've seen it and I went, ooh, that's eerie, because I always found the never-ending story really, really creepy with the wolf in the wall and the eeriness. So Jack Nicholson's been bit. He's pretty much, I think, just been commuting around on his assignments of books. As I say, snowy roads, grim weather, absolutely grim. Fair play from the driver and that. But then it's focusing on this wolf here, and it dips its head down, and you can tell it's an animatronic because it's a little bit bong-eyed there for a second, and it zooms right in, and then it's because it looks right at the camera in the sort of pan into Jack. It could have panned into Jack Nicholson's eyes there. I don't know why you would do an animatronic, mainly because, yeah, fair enough, it's a wolf. But if you look at what they did with Jed the dog and the thing, when, a really well-trained animal is more creepy than a robot or CGI. But wolf, in a way, it's advertised as a wolf. Is it a remake of Wolfman? Is it it's a kind of a weird one because, Jack Nicholson, he's done the rounds, he's done the Joker. He was a bit weird in the 90s before he hit with the Academy Awards as good as it gets. He did stuff like Blood and Wire. He did The Pledge. He did some really films that just didn't hit home as much as they would. And it's also going to bug the hell out of me because he's just gone into the elevator now. And this building, I've seen in another thing recently. I think it's the same building as... maybe it's the same building as... What Women Want. It's something like that. So I've seen it recently in another movie. But again, going in as a kid, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jack Nicholson, I don't put them together as a pair. I'll talk about that in a bit. But I wasn't a fan of Jack Nicholson. I've never been a go-to Jack Nicholson guy. I think it's the generation before me. But again, I'm not going to say he's a crap actor. He's not. He's absolutely brilliant. But it's kind of like, he's playing this older guy. He's pretty much the book house he's in is sort of getting a merger, and there's a chopping board there. And as a kid, I didn't get that. As I've watched this film quite recently, a couple of times, I felt like there's a lot more going on there in the back burner, especially if you watch films like Chinatown and The Two Jakes, which was not far around here when he did the sequel, and he actually directed The Two Jakes, where they're just slow burning movies. You know what I mean? This is like a classic kind of old school movie. Everything's shot right, everything's old schooled, from sets to poor man's process and all them kinds of bits and bobs. But again, you get a bit of a Misery vibe as well, especially with the whole book editor and all that. But I couldn't even think about being a book editor. I mean, there's a cliche there where his glasses had just disappeared to a pipe. I mean, hang on a minute, right? I'm not going to lie here. We're meant to be watching along. I'm almost going to rewind that for a second in my own time. So, I'm going right. Okay, so a massive glitch here, actually. Glasses are on. Got his pipe in his hand. Cuts to her. Glasses are not on his head. Cuts back to him. His glasses got in the pipes in his mouth. So, yeah. Again, it's the fun of watching an audio comedy. Obviously, I don't have Carl here at the minute keeping time. But, yeah. Again, things happen like that. Multiple takes. I can see Jack Nicholson being an absolute pro. I mean, look at the backdrop, man, of all the paperwork and stuff like that now. I mean, pre-computers. You know what I mean? It's like, right. So I am doing some old school transferring in the background as well. So if you want to know what I'm up to, that is what I'm doing. If you can hear some clicking and transferring and waiting. And here comes James Spader. Now, James Spader, Star Trek, Stargate. A bit of a creep. I think I've only ever seen him in Supernova, which I fell asleep in. He's also in The Watcher with Keanu Reeves. He's been very busy the last couple of years in Blacklist. I've never seen that. But he pulls on the creep here. And, this is the kind of like, I mean, he was in Crash, haven't you? But I've never seen Crash. But he's kind of a love to hate. I think he's really good in Stargate, but I think Michael Shax, who replaces him in the series, takes that role and owns that role. I think James Spader, I think both actors, by the way, in here, basically, it's the old and the new. It's the hierarchy of tyrant. It's the hungry, I'm going to take your job but don't know it kind of battle, which you can relate to in any kind of job, I think. And I think like with James Spader, he does it really well. And I think he pulls on the creepiness when he's bitten and he got his eyes and he gets a bit strange. I think the creepiness really comes on. But I think both actors, it's kind of like going primal. Because there's a lot more, you know, it's not like, ooh, he's a wolf at full moon. It's kind of like, you know, it's you know, dealing with like, it's not like Teen Wolf and stuff like that. It's kind of, it's really putting this in the mythology. I mean, it's like kind of like saying like, you know, why do these stories stick around so much? Because there's a guy in the interview just talking about this before. Why do these stick around so long? These urban myths, over like not just in recent fucking TikToks and all that, but like what have been around for hundreds of years and stuff. And it's weird like that, you know. So this film, like, really like grounds it. But I don't think there's like, when it comes to werewolves and stuff like that, I mean, I'm not being biased with Dog Soldiers and all that. Dog Soldiers is flat out what it wants to be. It's werewolves versus soldiers with little explanation, because you've seen it 100 times. I think any kind of film that tries to go along this era like this, you're building a foundation, and everyone wants to know the backstory and stuff like that, and then, you know, turning into a wolf like Teen Wolves did it. But it's kind of like, if you look at Underworld and all that, like, people love a good werewolf movie, and keeping it in a classical. I've just waffled away there, but here comes Christian Plummer. Recently in Lake House, I've watched Never Looked Young. He's one of them actors who's never looked young. And yeah, James Spader, turning on the creep, brown nose. And now the other thing as well here is throwing the wife into the mix, how she's, you know, cheating on it with James Spader. So he's after everything, and the fact that, you know, like, that's a hard pill to swallow if she's already took that plunge, and there's the betrayal there, and, you know, because he's been betrayed, you supplement him as well when he gets to Michelle Pfeiffer, like, well, fair play, you know, my wife's already fucked off with the guy who's trying to take my job, and I've pretty much lost everything, you know. It's, again, there's a lot of stuff there as a kid, and get as, do I want to see a werewolf movie, kind of there. But yeah, it's stuff like werewolves. It's kind of, I like the werewolf, Benicio del Toro one, and Anthony Hopkins hated it. I've tried a few times to watch it. I was really excited for the Dark Universe thing. That just seemed to have just dropped its bollocks in there straight away. I think, like, talking about that guy in the far back right corner doesn't even, oh, he's moved. He looked like a fucking mannequin. But yeah, fucking weird giraffe thing in the background. I'm itching, by the way, because I was one of the interviews with the writer or producers. He actually picture of like the view from James Stewart's point of view from Rear Window as a picture, and it was a high res picture. I was like, I want that. But yeah, as I said, I've always had love for the wolf. From that classic poster. Obviously I've had the DVD for years, just knocking around. Its availability though, let's have a good talk about the availability, because this shit is just not available, because Indicator has picked it up on Blu-ray, and Indicator doesn't really dibble dabble in high street. It's got its own awareness online. Fair enough, if you searched it, it would pop up, it would take the Indicator. But Wolf is on Indicator. It's got its original cover like I talked about, and on the back, the moon is rising, the man is changing, the animal is out. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines of just waffle. High definition remaster, no audio commentary, hence why I'm doing one. Like, interview with James Spader 2 minutes, interview with Mike Nichols 9 minutes, Doug Wink 3 minutes, Jim Henderson 3 minutes. It's just like, I don't even know this. But yeah, on for 125 minutes, and inside it's not a flip cover, but Indicator seem to like Jack Nicholson because they've got so like the last detail and the border, and the fortune these are all advertised within the box. And indicate, don't say that they're a bad label and all that. It's just the fact that, you know, if you were coming in there for Wolf, it's there. But again, love to hear it. It looks lush in colour. As I say, they're walking on grounds there, and we start to get echoes of something's not right. I absolutely love the introduction to Michelle Pfeiffer, that she's in the background in the legs crossed. And Michelle Pfeiffer looks absolutely stunning in this. A lot of people talk about Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns, equally stunning in this. As I said, it's just been one of the go-to films, and I think with podcasts now, is we've done that many. I got a notification the other day about Tremors having 1 million views, and I went, I mean, I understand people like listening to me, that's fair enough, and I know a lot of people give me a lot of hate because they think they're going to watch a film. Once again, physical media, watch a movie. You know, nothing's free in this world. And it's kind of like, I look back and I'll be like, God, I did a podcast for that. I've already done a podcast for this. And it's great having Carl and Paul and stuff like that. But like, again, sitting down and just doing a whole podcast on your own, you know, it's fun, it's enjoyment, it's waffle, it's chuck that cigar. Never been a cigar smoker. Never been a cigar smoker. Couldn't do it. That horse does not like him. And yeah, as I said, we're powering through this. As I said, the new Master, and this will be the first one in 720. I'm going to go for 720 as a test. As I said, this horse is about to freak the fuck out. Really freak the fuck out. Be interesting how they get a horse to do that. I know we get a cat, you have to put another cat next to it to get a good cat reaction, but the same, my washing machine's going wild. But yeah, I think like, I mean, he creeps off here, and you think, oh, maybe he's having a heart attack. You know, he's obviously going to go through the changes. It's one of the worst pains. Like, I jumped over a fence a few years ago and I felt like I pulled something. And, oh my God, it's just that. There's a couple of minutes of like, fucking hell, what's going on? Right, so here he goes. Jack Nicholson slides down and you can just see the cross boots. You know, and imagine like this having your little home. She's a daddy's girl, kind of paid for it, but she's a bit of a rebel. And then she just creeps up, walks across, already whiskey in hand, and boom. Could never treat neat whiskey like that. I'm a volume drinker. I think with lager. But I know people drink whiskey and all that just to get where they want to go, but I don't really drink to go anywhere. I just enjoy sitting down, watching films, listening to vinyl. And but yeah, she looked absolutely stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. It's the hair, it's the, you know, everyone, Dangerous Minds came along, everyone's hip on that, but again, I'm never let's go and watch a new Michelle Pfeiffer film. But yeah, nice shot. Look at the fire burn in the background. Now that would be green screen. I was watching Dungeons and Dragons the other day with Tyler, and I was just not enjoying it. Obviously, this is all green screen. This looks bad. This looks shit. And then we started watching Bend Ups and Broomsticks after it, and we're just like, well, look, you can appreciate the art, and you can appreciate a good shot like this and set up, and you know, you can sit there and pick it apart and all that, and you know, start to appreciate a good script, a story, as an adult. But again, I think Wolf was a bit of a weird one, and when it came out, it was marketed well, and again, I just remember like, you know, because you didn't have like, I mean, yesterday the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4 came out, and it's there, but it's not out for 6 months. Like, I remember going to the cinema and just seeing like, because the old cinema we used to go to, you would either go left or right down to which screen you were going to do, and you had to queue and whatever, so you would see different quads. And like certain ones I really remember. I remember Addams Family, I remember Speed, but Wolf is one that really sticks out. Dumb and Dumber, the original, when they're sitting on the wet paint sign spoofing Forrest Gump and stuff like that, and all those kinds of things. The awkward moment where he touches the tits as he a creepy old man. I just never buy these two getting together because there's a bit of an age gap, but again, love's love, attraction's attraction. You can never really judge somebody on the attraction. There's got to be something there. But as I said, she seems to be the boss's daughter. Christopher Plummer, always plays quite a stubborn rich man. As you say, he does in the lake house, and he says I've just never seen him looking young. They're panning in there, showing a bit of affection, juices him up. So Jack Nicholson's just basically been told he's basically getting he's got the opportunity to take redundancy in a way, or quit in a way if he's power raging or that, but he's pretty much been looked over because he's dropped a clanger. But again, it's kind of like he's got James Spader's character barking at his job, wanting his job, going behind his back, and he's also fucking his wife. So Jack Nicholson in a way has been probably distracted the last couple of years to let his wife sort of slip away out of his hands and not paying full attention. And I think like even when you come back in there now, knowing that they've had a collection, you kind of like, you can see it. I can see, oh, there's some suspicious there, and especially where this is where James Spader really delivers in a way, because it's kind of like that's there. I think that to me, that's where you're like, right, you know, you're caught in a lie, and when you get caught in a lie and you try to dig yourself out, but he just comes clean. You know what I mean? But it's that, and then she in the background, she has no idea. So she, in a way, she's now thinking, oh fuck, I've been fucking him, and he's actually after his job. Now she is, again, it's because it's a classic movie. If you did this now, they wouldn't put that much thought into it. They'd be trying to show you that, fuck, you know, like there's something coming here. But I think this is what this film has a lot of charm with. And credit James Spader, as my washing machine goes into the last cycle. But yeah. Now, there's one more famous person appearing here, and it'll be David Swimmer. As we get a poor man's process of lights going by and the reflections. Someone rocking that car. But yeah. He doesn't know that he doesn't know until he gets the sniffles. Now, Jack Nicholson goes home, and recently, I work 6 days a week sometimes, and I don't get the chance to sit down and do much podcasting like this and editing, filming. And like with us being 40 now, right? I'll tell you what. Like he goes up here and he sleeps all day, and I recently did this. I did it when I thought I had COVID, and I tell you what, if you can sleep a whole day, I tell you what, it can add months back onto your life. Just being able to go, right, fuck it, today I'm sleeping, not a film on, and just being that exhausted. And that's what I've been going through recently. I mean, if you listen to me now, you're a fan of what I do and listening and stuff, and it's December, and like I've put my phone downstairs, it's on charge, I've got the washing machine, I've got a day in the house to sort some videos out. I've been cancelling stuff left, right and centre, because my grand's fell and broke her neck and then had a stroke. So I'm kind of on standby, so I'll be able to hear my phone if it does ring, but this is where I enjoy doing. So she's now come back and had a good night's sleep, and that's what I did recently. I literally had a full day after dealing with everything that I've been going through, and then this has happened recently when we began breaking her neck, but there's been so much this year I've had to deal with. That one day I slept all day, and I tell you what, I shit myself when Britt came home from work, because I was like, fuck, I've been asleep all day and now I'm going to keep her awake all night, and I slept all night as well. And they always say you must have needed it. But some nights when, I mean, I wish I had Jack Nicholson's hair. Right, the washing machine's finished. Dun dun dun. I feel great. I like Jack Nicholson in The Departed. Let's see, he's retired now. Good as She Gets was good. I watched Blood and Wine. He's got his little mojo here. He's quite feeling a bit horny. Oh, she looks totally different with no makeup on. He's hungry, dancing, a bit of wine. He's got his sweatpants on. Again, showing this though, they haven't had sex for a long time and stuff, and it's just obviously age of romance and stuff like that. He's about to go animal on her. Going animalistics. That's a weird chair, that. But he's good in the Joker. I think that's probably the first thing I've ever seen Jack Nicholson in. Obviously he's aware of The Shining. I love The Shining. It's a shame that he didn't come back in Doctor Sleep. I know it's Elliot from E.T. You got the first sign. Again, as a kid, it's like the whole bathroom scene where you really discover you've got a problem. Find a fucking bit of hair somewhere it shouldn't be, or a lump and stuff like that. I think they said it best in Stephen King's, like the bathroom's more of a horror than anything, you know, the discovery, and this is it. It's like the same with Teen Wolf when he finds that big chest hair, and on here where he's got the bite and the hair coming off. But yeah, if we go back to that place, I'm sure it's it again here. This whole thing is just like, how the fuck could you have tequila in the morning? How the fuck do you know? You smell it a mile away. Then he hears him. But obviously it's setting up him because he's the guy he rings later on for the mythology of it. Like most things do, and there's they go looking for a spin doctor. Oh, spin doctor, that's Wag the dog. And now he's got the sniffs going on. He's had his sleep. He's fully recharged. Now I'm about to get a file done, which is good. Look at that. Imagine that. That's good grammar, that though. I got a massive joy about 10 years of reading, but now I'm just like, I struggle. I've read the first chapter of Ian Edmondson's new book, but imagine grammar and spell checking. It's all digital now, there's no computer on his desk, you know what I mean? He's got a phone, he's got a receptionist, he's got a penknife, he only needs glasses, he's got a picture that's just randomly on the side, and then you've got all the books in the background, and then which will probably be different covers, illustrations and all that, but there's no computer. If I write something now, because again, I've been writing for ages, and I went back to writing shorthand in a book, and then I've got this massive story in my computer, and every time I open it up, it's red squiggles everywhere because of my grammar. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think. But again, it's like, is James Spader's character, is he computer savvy? Because the computers are in this, because you're probably that, but like again, he's about to go out here and go, right, what the hell's going on, man? Alright, I'm still in band footage. Oh yeah, still got a few things to transfer, so alright. So yeah, it comes out, I'm sure they use the same place for what women want. All the little departments and stuff like that. But this is where he realises something has changed. That'll be like Weatherspoons in it. People are like, you're really focusing. Oh, and what a shot. What a fucking shot. Like, again, Rear Window kind of inspired shot there, and then he got his little eyebrows going up there, his ears a little twinkling. Somebody pulling them from behind, probably. He's getting wired in, he's gluing on, and then here's the guy from afar. But yeah, very Rear Window, like a point of how much can you see from one point. Again, that's what makes this building class and beautiful. I don't think it's a set. Maybe it's inside, the rooms are sets, but peeing in the men's toilets. Men. Sense and change. But yeah, again, just that shot pan up there, filling the screen with stuff going on. You got the, oh god, that looks like a woman on a mobile phone, but it's not. She's on a wall phone. So yeah, as I said, he's been given the option, and these are his assistants. I'm sure the guy, his assistant there, went on to be popular in Seinfeld, I think. So I'm not big on that. There's the first computer we've seen, big ass thing, and now he's talking to him on the phone. Rather than just pop down and see him, You know, you can see him like what a lazy fucker. You've just seen him walk out the door and look through his window. Like, you know, it'd be really funny if the far right of the guy on the computer, you could see Jack Nicholson in the other shot. Like, yeah, I'm just across the hall. But yeah, he's sort of like the book guy. Just trying to fill the void. You know, we're not going to see any known authors, I don't think. But yeah, Risk poster on the wall. There's not like a hidden poster in there. But it's distributed by 2020 Vision. So 2020, to be honest with you, it's very rare that their films really see further release, because obviously they released a lot of the 2 Corey stuff, and Wolf obviously comes out in Indicator, and it's number 21 on Indicator. It's been out for about 8-9 years. Always carried a hefty price. I only recently picked it up. I think he's been spied on. I only recently picked it up when Indicator had a sale online, and just one of the lads at work told us, I think Wolf was $6.99, and it took about 2 or 3 weeks to come, which was really poor. Like, because I bought it straight from the website, it was really poor how long it took to come. But again, it is what it is. You know, I can just print them on the batches. It doesn't come with a slip cover, which I think would have been nice. Doesn't have a steel book, but here we go though. He smells him on her coat, and this is the whole sniffing. He goes on the wander, and then we get to start to see the first signs of his wolfism as he looks out into the void of New York. I think it's New York. New York with Chicago in it. I don't know, one of the two. See, look at the fucking creepiness of that walk. But again, low hanging lip. You know. But again, he smells it on her, so I'm not saying he's followed the whole scent all the way to the house. I'm guessing he knows where he lives. Oh, I'll come up, I'll come down. But again, even stuff like that, he's pacing. His eyes are locked, he's pacing, he's, you know, James Spader barges past him. Little creepiness. He can smell. And then there's the bite. And then here comes a leap. Whee! Which was probably replacement wires, and boom. Busted. But yeah. She's there, and obviously the top's down. Says enough, doesn't it? And boom. So she ended up getting a hard on the stick. She tried again, and I love the shot though. He's reflected in the mirror. He's gone slightly off camera, and he's slightly out of focus. But she's now wondering what the fuck he's gonna do, and focuses in on him. Great shot. And diddle-in. He comes up in the lift. Oh, it's James Spader. Be breaking it because Jack Nicholson's about to play hardball. And here he comes. And you can see the mood has changed. Fully clued on. Even his assistant is backing him. He makes a play and he's offered his job back, and this sort of sets up the rivalry of the movie. And Michelle Pfeiffer hasn't come back into this yet. As I say, there's a slow burning romance with them, but we haven't had the death of the deer yet, and him off in the woods having a wander. Said this is going to be a 2-hour podcast of me waffling, so again, look at the background there, man. We can just even out of focus. It's got to be a real location, that just people walking around the background. Now James Spader there, when he's reacted, reminded me of Rob Schneider in like The Animal, where he's like, oh, so just that look. I do everything on. I resign tomorrow. Can't do that. It's like, yeah. But again, he's been playing it, you know. This guy, you know, he was his protege, his mentor to his protege, and he's like, he's gone around his back. He's tried to get him fired, finished, take his job, placement, but also been fucking his wife. It's kind of like his career, his reputation, and all that would be over. But it's work politics and fucking the unknown. Look at this smugness. It's like Jack Nicholson's just like, nah, fuck you. Like, absolutely like, nah, fuck you. But again, I mean, with James Spader, as I said, I tried to watch Supernova. Obviously, he's in The Watcher. Stargate, I think he's good in that. But I've never seen Blacklist, and he is the voice of Unicorn, Ultron in Marvel films, but seemed to, I mean, he did seem to have put on a lot of weight for Blacklist, but again, I've never seen it. I don't know if it's part of the character or anything, but it was that time in the 90s where he was just everywhere. But I think he really does embrace the fucking creepness. Especially when he gets a bit feral later on, should we say. But again, as a kid, how far are we into this? Ain't no been no wolf. You know, so you don't really, you know, it's a wolf movie. What's going on? See the attention to detail there. His bag is still on the desk when he walked in, and he's about to lay down the action plan. He's about to play the hard game, get all the details, see who wants to move, put the offer in. Yeah, he's got a game plan. He's got his head screwed on. Are we playing hard? About fucking... I'm sure she drops the F-bomb. I never use the subtitles. I know Carl does when he does the podcasts. It's about fucking time. His fucking pipe. But now he doesn't wear his pipe because he's heightened senses. His pipe, like, again, you know, like, he now tastes more. Again, another small little detail. Look how cluttered that fucking room is. Fucking huge paintings. Everything's like massive. Oh, and then he's got stock market things in the background. There's a fucking, looks like a leopard with a fucking dicky bow around his head. So he's just walked in here, Christine Plummer. He's never looked young, Christine Plummer. So he's just turned down the job. He's playing hardball. And why he's there, he remembers about that girl. It's a horrible tie. But again, it's the whole, got a horse, daddy's girl, and at the time, another film, Two Corey's blown away. Nicole Eggert is riding a horse on a daddy's land, and Haim walks over and introduces herself, and Haim stops her from almost falling off the horse. So again, as a kid, I was just like, bit of similarity there. Risky business, that, falling off a horse. And she snaps at him there. Like, do you not know horses are petrified of you? You'd be like, why? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, what an observation. Wham. Alright. But he comes out there because he doesn't like, and then oof. I mean, that's his worst nightmare. The guy I've just fired just fucked my wife. But there can't be much age difference between them two. But again, who's the original movie aimed at? It's not aimed at about a 9-year-old Stephen wanting to watch this at the video shop, is it? It's aimed for a generation of Jack Nicholsons. You want to see Jack Nicholson get the girl. And who else at that time is the bombshell but Michelle Pfeiffer. So yeah, so I don't really want to be Oh, and then despite him, there you go. So go back to her house. He's been invited to her house in spite of like everything going on. And then what a shot, man, pulling into there. That's her house. Not much private there, but it's like one of the guest houses. He's just like, what's going to happen here? She's just like, for fuck's sake. Oh, it had peanut butter and jam in it. Peanut butter and burnt jam's like mother's milk to me, and it's so quotable. I like watching old films like this to see what VHSs they might have lurking on the shelves, but they kind of look like CDs, but they kind of look like DVDs behind it, but books maybe. It'd be good to add Wolf on this one. It's not really a Christmas film. Me and Carl have been trying to book in. So this is the one after I've released Money Pit, but me and Carl have Jaws, The Revenge, and Airheads. So this is the one after Airheads. Look at them candles, man. So much in the frame. I mean, like why would you have them candles on your... I mean, how many fucking candles had she got on there? 1, 2, 3, and then you got that massive one in the middle. Aye, you just filled the frame. It's gonna be a big one. Right, okay, so I'm sitting for a while. 21 gig, 0.2 gigs next is my next file to shaft. So yeah. So by this point, I've probably fell asleep. I've created a shelf in my editing room. I did this a few months back because I don't struggle with alcohol. I am sort of like try to find me peace in life, and I like to have a drink, edit some footage, just enjoy vinyls, have films on, watch old school films, and then go to bed and put a Safe Haven movie on. And for some reason, for weeks and weeks and weeks and months and years, I keep waking up and running Siege on the fucking television. And it's always one of 5 films, really. Under Siege is the dominant one, but Predator, Predator 2, Aliens, Under Siege, and then... what was it one? I don't know. It could be something weird. But anyway, I wanted to introduce more films to this, and for some reason it's now become Hard Rain. I tell you what, I put a film on after I've had a drink, and I tell you what, I don't even make it to the fucking the sheriff's talking in the town. By the time it's went across the valley, poof, and Wolf has ended up on that shelf, and it's one of the reasons I want to do a podcast for, because I'd watched Wolf and then had this vibe to watch Wolf because obviously got the vinyl, and yeah, he gets bit by the wolf in his sleep. But it's the music, and this is something I looked into. It's the music. Under Siege has quite a unique soundtrack opener. Wolf has. Hard Rain has quite a 90s action. Wants to be epic, but it's not too epic. There's another great shot of Michelle Pfeiffer reflecting in the mirror, and that is just really good to me. Obviously, 1, keeping the focus in the film. 2, there's not a crew member standing there with a boom mic. There's a door there. You know what I mean? Again, it's a classic movie stuck in the mid-90s, you know what I mean? It's one of those. But again, she looks gorgeous. She's not wearing something tight, you know, to show how slim she is. She's wearing something baggy and Freddy that shows you how thin she is because it's huge on her. But then this is where she's now finding out she's got a rough one. She's suffering through loss and dealing with it. And then just look at that golden hour shot there. Again, filling the frame underneath a little pillar there. And again, it's just a nice film. But again, I've just never bought it as them getting together. And again, this is where the film will start to get hazy. But yeah, there was a few contenders for a podcast today. I've been interested about maybe doing the young ones as short podcasts. I thought that'd be quite interesting. Just one of the girls been on the podcast for ages for Corey. I've been actually looking at some of maybe doing more of the newer Corey stuff, but I think when I want to do a podcast, I've got to be in the right mindset, because it's a lot when I'm just on my own, to carry it. And again, people click on it and listen to it or whatever. But yeah, it just is what it is. It's content. It's something different. It's something new. And again, hopefully you watch it along with me. Very risky shot though, I think. Again, going against the sunlight and obviously silhouettes and backing. Is a really good cinematographer, whoever's done this, who was shit, the bed, man. Doesn't even get name checked on the back of the box. And my phone's downstairs. We've got Columbia Pictures, we've got Douglas Wick Production, Mike Nichols Film, the cast, music by, special effects, exclusive producers, written by, produced and directed. Cinematographer doesn't even get name checked, and it's quite beautiful. So yeah, as it just creeps along, we got a slow burner, and then cuts to the side there and a bit more light. Nicely drifted water. Jack Nicholson's coat starting to, jump around. Still got that fucking horrible tie on. See a little sniffle there. But he's literally fallen for her right there and then, really. And they weren't sitting under a pier, they were sitting in old fashioned artware. But like, again, he's like, alright, this guy's like falling to bits. Do you really want to hump him? But obviously this sets up the gang for a nap, and that's not how he goes on the wolf. And we get the first wolf. So the horses are about to go daft in the stables. I stayed in a place called the Stables in Whitby, if you're ever near Whitby, the home of Bram Stoker. And I was just talking about the fucking wolf then, and I don't think Brit had seen it. I was like, this feels like the wolf's place. There you go, checking the temperature. It's back in bed. There you go. Another thing you start to do as well is the crossbite. Really pushing your jaw out, which obviously leads towards the makeup and the teeth. But again, it's the I don't know what instrument it is. It's not a violin. It's up there with like a big one, a flute. It's very like, can break glass how much it comes in there, the McCory thing, and it just tiddle taddles along. Let's see, he's always good at giving a sense of coldness, I always thought. Like really scores and that. I even think that even the Wolf's probably a better score than the Thing, to be honest with you. I mean, the Thing is quite dun 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 dun. There you go. It's the cross-biting thing. He's about to morph. So I think you're just staying in the guest room tonight. But she's fallen for him. But she's worked with pretty much everyone. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Mal Keaton, poof, and here comes the moon. Again with the moon. I was watching, I think Tremors 2 might be on the cards for me and Carl, because we both just recently got the special edition by Arrow. And there's a shot where Earl and Grady are camping out on the van on the hill. And they've just got this massive backdrop, backlit big moon for the shot. And it's just like that. So first off, straight away, look at them contacts in his eyes. They haven't gone full like Wolfman, but they've given him the right outgrown whiskers. His hair's literally gone, but it's all in the eyes and in the jaw. And this comes down to Jack Nicholson. I think lower tilt his head, and you don't see much, and then he just sort of like. Again, it looks a bit weird there. Definitely looks like a bit of a screen there. But yeah, boom. Now it's in the daylight as well, so it's not like you're creeping around in the dark. His eyes aren't as neon as the wolves are in the start there and stuff. But as a kid, I was like, "Is this it? Does he not turn into a wolf?" And there you go. There's a deer straight away. Just happened to be there. But again, it's that kind of. It's in the eyebrows there. He's not him anymore. He's not William. He's the wolf. Again, this is like taking on there. And it's like, I can't. You could see other actors being a bit like. I mean, it looks a bit weird now when he's obviously he probably has a harness on him to maybe get that hype, just to give him that little bit there. I mean, that's clearly the fucking stunt double. You can tell that before there because of the mask on him, because of how high the forehead is. And obviously, like, the speed. Because you can see that's not Jack Nicholson. I mean, that's a real deer thinking, what the fuck? And, you know what I mean? And then... And obviously he jumps out the tree or something, doesn't he? I mean, again, you can see that's not Jack Nicholson, and it's weird that they would zoom in that much on it. I would have probably went for a bit more yellow eyes, like... And he's not doing much. All he is cross biting, you know. But he owns it, you know what I mean. He's trying, but then is it a little bit too much? To sort of like would you lean more forward? I don't know. But he's about to do his best John Rambo impression here, up the top. Rick Baker has a model of this in his studio built. Yeah, it's like the Predator all over there. But again, this will go down to Rick Baker, animal expert. And again, the animal obviously keeps waking up, you know, everything. Brilliant shot. Birds in the trees and flying away. It's too bad that them birds in the trees are completely a different colour to there, but no blood. Where's the blood? Where's your blood and teeth? Yeah. But yeah. See, I'm normally asleep by this, but he wakes up, has no recollection what's gone on. Fucking sat there and snacked the deer a bit. Gets in his car and fucks off. Makes me want to watch the animal now. Just fucking had a snack, man. Now he's got blood on him. Essentially like the Hulk. Again, there's your money on the screen. Look like you just woke up. Covered in blood. Again, it's stuff like you think. In the end there, it's just like, if it came out now, there'd be a chase one of just Jack Nicholson, and the chase would probably be normal one and the wolf, but good. I mean, again, Silver Bullet I love. Again, that nostalgia, and Dog Soldiers is a bit of a biased one, but yeah, like, there's so many werewolf movies out there, and the mythology, and like what's right and wrong, and only happens at full moons, and the silver, and you know, lycanthropes they get called as well. Put your headlights on, man. I love it as well. Like, you see him speed off there and all that, and there wasn't one tire mark, and then just this actor's been in quite a lot. He plays a dad in something, I can't remember now what it was, but it was almost there. But a nice little side project for him, I think. It'd be meant just to have a doctor just go right and go and they come see you. Just don't have that over here, but then it's all free in it over here. I can't remember when I've seen the same doctor like twice in a row. There you go. Just had a bit of a wild weekend. What have you done this weekend? Murdered a deer. So he turns up. And he's made the boss wait. Now, for some reason, I believe the guy on the right might actually be one of the writers or something. So yeah, played hardball, gonna offer his job back. Boom. Forbidden Forbidden of Fear, or Fortress of Fear. Again, more, right, politics, you know, mergers. Yeah, so I kind of need to make a list of the podcasts we've done, because I was just thinking there, sneakers. Has he ever done a podcast for sneakers? I don't know why, I just suddenly had a thinking of sneakers. Again, these are just life lessons learned of a waffle and a lunatic. Should be my therapy sessions. Actually don't have any of them now. But again, I just sit here, waffle away, no bad intent, just talking movies, show my love and passion for films and sharing stories of life, really. Mainly while I'm transferring footage of my life. At the moment I'm transferring video footage of a band, well, Static X, Therapy, Mitch, Liam, Holiday in Tokyo, Calves there, Elizabeth Little, files and files of fucking this footage. But yeah, I'm sure the blinds have just changed between shots. I'm trying to work out what the fuck has happened behind there, Christian Glover. It looks like there's a flag or something going nuts outside the window. Wow, I mean, what a shot. Like, as an old school camera, that way that came around and panned in, especially the focus on it, what a shot. So she's got the computer with a floppy drive. Oh, just have that bacon sandwich. Look at that old fashioned fucking index film. Just fucking nick the sandwich. Oh, floppy drive, man. Got an intercom. And then, woof. Now this always looks like like someone else playing it. It's the guy from it looks like the guy from Blade Runner, but again my phone's on charge downstairs. All make it up. Just the red light comes in there. He gives them the mythology run and then asks for be bitten. Goes the guru. It's like the last in Stir of Echoes, where she goes and finds Tony Todd and his voodoo and stuff, and someone to lay down the law, lay down the rules, like the realization, like it grounded it in, like, is he becoming a werewolf? Because from now, like, he's going through changes, but it's essentially a drama, you know. He's losing his job, he's met a new girl, he's lost his wife, but again, where's it aimed at? You know, it's the 90s. Now, Jack Nicholson had worked with the director on a film called Heartburn about 10 years prior. But again, there's a lot of Jack Nicholson films I find I've never heard of, and they come out and I'm like, fucking, I've never even heard of that. So, again, it's just one of those things where if you even like, do you watch a film because of an actor, or do you just watch a film at face value, or do you watch a film because of its cover, or do you, a lot of people, like, now it's like people are like, this is what you're watching because Netflix say this is the top film and everyone watches it, and I think, well, you've just put that there. Freedom of watching a film, and I think this is where this film's got a lot of love for me as well. Like, I chose to watch this film, I lived the hype of this film, I, you know, I'd seen the poster, was not old enough to see it, the pictures, in VHS as the day, and then finally being able to watch it. But then watching it thinking this is going to be as good as I thought that the film was going to be in my head. And again, being a 9-10-year-old when I'd probably seen it, is it what it was? Or is it fucking a drama? Or is it, is it scary? It's not really scary. It's not a horror, even though it'll go in horror. I don't see it as a horror. I think it's a thriller. He's got his little baby bottle there. Look at how his room's just full of clutter. Like fucking dead, looks like a dead animal hanging above his fucking kettle and stuff. Right, so I'm pretty much about to Steve Pledge Alive. When was that from? See, you will bite me. But he gets this charm. All is good. And love and dare with a charm. It might be the guy from Blade Runner. I'm not sure. I don't know that. Again, Carl's not here, so you're not going to get the facts. To be honest with you, I probably should have rang Carl to find out what Carl was doing today, because I don't randomly have Friday off. It's Friday today. And I've been walking the dog, and I thought, you know what, I'll come back, grab a podcast down. I've already made my mind up I was going to do The Wolf, and then realised it was on for that long, and I was like, for fuck's sake. Because again, like when we rented Airheads, if I did it on the big computer, Airheads, which is an hour and 40, which comes out about 21 gig, because it gets mastered in that high definition, and it's only audio. Do I really need to do that? That's my theory today. Honestly, I did on a laptop and it took hours and hours, so I thought, well, at least today I can set it away, and at least I'm not going to have to go to bed and think about my laptop exploding in the middle of the night. So yeah, so I was transferring 2014. And I was on with September, and I finished September. So 2014, right? September, I filmed 9 clips. It shows you how much I was dealing with my life at that time. 9 clips. Fucking hard year that year, like. And next month, on October, I did the first ever tribute video, which was the Gremlins. Because my computer, it's right in front of me right now. Yep. Into the archive it goes. So yeah, again, he's been waffling there. As I said, like with Wolves, and it only happens at night time, and like American Werewolf in London, that's probably one of the creepiest ones. Again, Britain. I'd say Britain definitely has the better werewolf movies over America. Dog Soldiers and American Werewolf in London. Of where the mythology can come from. Underworld is, I don't know, Underworld, whatever. But like, the old-fashioned Wolfman and the creepiness of it, and obviously the way they've used him throughout the movies, aren't they, in Van Helsing as well. And I still think it would have been cool with the Lost Boys the first, if they went werewolves. Start off with vampires and fuck the werewolves. That would have been an interesting one, because they do hint at that at the end. And then Silver Bullet. I think Silver Bullet's definitely due to get itself some recognition on a real issue, because I was able to order some of Silver Bullet in at work, and Casper messages, and something like 11 copies came in after we had 2 batches to sell, and we're still waiting on reorders now because they've all sold. So again, Werewolf, look at Teen Wolf, the TV series, it's done alright. There's werewolves in Twilight. There you go, it's like, bite me. Make me a werewolf. We're like, awkward. But vampires. Another one I want to watch soon, probably for a podcast, is 30 Days a Night. That one's on the cards. / He's like, gutted. 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 / He's like, gutted It's a big scene though. Definitely like a 10-minute scene in the middle of it, and it's like, once you chop it down now, I would try and get this down about an hour and a half now. But again, it's a story. I do think that scene's way too long, but again, I know why it's there for. It's there to... because the film's about to take a weird turn, because very, like, yeah, we've seen him running around as Creature. He's about to go on a fucking safari around New York Zoo. Again, more shots in the mirror. You know, Jack Nicholson is off camera. Yeah, put it on, mate. You've been given it. That's a bold choice as well. Hang it on a swinging mirror. Oh, that is a fucking creepy picture of a kid. Yeah. She's having a shower. She's obviously up to something in the shower. Bim, bim, bim. He's eating raw meat. Look at that. Red wine and raw meat. Holy man, I want to date you. They come to this. Does she come to the city? I think she does. Old fashioned telephone. No mobile phones in here. She's like, what the fuck, man? Candles next to a bed. That looks like the same candles from the fucking kitchen scene. What a fucking radio. Why? There's so much in each frame when he's sitting down. Like, if you look at the table, flowers. He's not going to maintain flowers. You've got a bottle of wine, red meat there, pack of newspapers, telephones in the background. There's a fucking lamp on the same as the telephone. Hideous wallpaper. And then the radiator just seems to be pulled in the scene, completely filled with frames. Alright, first sign of yeah. Come and meet me for a date. Slam the phone down. That's definitely a set. Fucking wallpaper, man. There's the mirror, but it doesn't. It does have the charm swinging there. Again, another shot looking into the mirror. And that's credit, because that means the other side of the wall that you haven't even seen is actually done as well with the same hideous wallpaper. But yeah, that's a set, that one. He's got a date. Lovely shot of New York skyline. So this is a New York film. I'm in New York in 4 weeks' time. I don't know what I want to do in New York. I just want to go and hunt for videos and probably see Vampire Mike. And go to where King Kong was. But yeah, the moon is on, and here comes the eyes again. And this is where he goes fucking nuts in the city. Yeah, you can see the moon in the background, which again, this will be I think that's just a matte drop. That's just a painting that. You know, he's looking out there. He's like an animal wanting out. You know, sights and sounds. But this to me as well. This is where he's not the character anymore. The animal has taken over. The animal is in a strange environment, and now he's in the city. The eyes going. The eyes are more yellow. We fade into that, and he's out, and he's in Central Park. Loose in Central Park here. He goes to the zoo, and we get to see some animals. A lion. You see, he just looks like a man out on crack, doesn't he? God, you wouldn't be able to get that close to animals these days, like, I don't think. And then there, he comes David Swimmer. Which, I'm not being funny, but that first guy jumping the barrier is not David Swimmer. There's the bear. There he is, David Swimmer. Just arresting him for being in the zoo at night. David Swimmer just before Friends would be a big hit. And there you go, off he goes again. Big leaps which would definitely be wire removal. Even the bear's looking at. And even the guy on the left, the black man next to David Swimmer, is the car driver from The Bodyguard. Recognised him there. So yep, David Swimmer's a very brief appearance. Before Friends hit big the year after. In Central Park. Just looking for trouble. Now, I just recently watched Home Alone 2 because it is Christmas, and you know we're about to have a big murder scene here, which is, you know, creepy guys. I think you might recognise some of the gang members here. I think he's just wired, isn't he? See, this is why I don't want to walk through Central Park in the night. Brit's like wanting to go to Brooklyn and all this kind of stuff, and Harlem and stuff like that. And I'm like, Brit, like, you know, we're already in New York for like 4 days. Getting some weird edits there and just fucking lashing it up, and the guy's running for his life. We get some like kind of shadow, maybe just to keep the rating down. And he wakes up. Mayflower Hotel. Oh, that's right. He moved to the hotel. Moved out, didn't he? So yeah, I'm actually staying near Times Square. So again, I'm taking an empty suitcase. I'm literally going looking for VHSs and shit, and so I can bring stuff back because the imports from America are just ridiculous. It's just custom charge and stuff like that, so okay, they missed 3 clips, but I've got them. So comes the contract signing. Fucking polished that table like, didn't I? Jesus. And hopefully by the end of this film I will have another year in the can on here, which is good. And in November I did The Flying Nun. I remember that, and it was the start of the Rocky films. The birth of Lonely Tree Entertainment. Here comes the pissing contest, and again this is going down to, this is more Animal Instinct, but yeah. Again, James Spader does this well because like it's the realization of like, I'm fucked, contracts man and on the writing. Fucking hell. His tie looks like Tetris. So yeah. See, I said before in September, from 2014, I'd filmed 9 clips. I filmed 136 clips in November. Just, it's pretty much the era when I separated from my wife. So, yeah. Off that note, Jack Nicholson's about to pee all over him. But James Spader's now going through the changes, and it hasn't really. It is a bit of a, you know, oh fuck, he's one, you know. But again, you don't know this. We don't know this yet. Watching it, but again, I just took Hyra for a walk this morning, and she's pissed on every tree you can imagine, because like that's what animals do. It's scent. It's there you go. Proper orange piss going along there. Marking his territory. Good old fashioned urinal. It'd been funny if someone was just in the cubicles, just like, oh. And I just pissed all over him and that. Oh, 2 doors. I was just wondering, like, yeah. And then again, a communal toilet in it between the office buildings and stuff. So he's got what he wants. He's got the job back. He's got a new contract. He's loving it. Again, massive long take. Back into a bloody mirror, of course. The production crew must have been right in that middle of the room, all huddled together, because that's one of the first cuts we've had there. But that's only an insert, and yet another insert, and then ooh, what's this? And he finds blood. And he finds something else in his pocket. But again, he doesn't know. It's not like he's turned into a wolf and then, oh, he's found some fingers. But again, walking around with fingers, would he not have had a bit more blood on him, his coat and jacket and stuff like that? But again, he doesn't know. Doesn't know. They're going back to the doctor's. Oh, no, his wife's there. It's not the doctor's, it's at his hotel. Again, she's like, does he not just fucking tell her to fuck off? Or does he accept her back? I mean, if that had happened and she came back, she would never step out of line again, would she? You don't know what you got till it's gone, kind of crack. But he just doesn't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, she's committed adultery, he's off scot-free. So I would say we're coming in the last quarter of this, I want to say. But I'm saying that he hasn't fucked Michelle Pfeiffer yet, so... But he's about to meet Michelle Pfeiffer, because he's going to get questioned by the police soon. And then they end up back at the farmhouse for a good old, good-fashioned bar room. Stable brawl. And yeah. Boom, she's gone. And there you go, Michelle Pfeiffer in the background. Look at that. You don't know she's there. She's out of focus. And again, when I was a kid, I was expecting wolf movie. And I've always had some love and passion for it. And I think I would watch this, and this tells such a good story in a sense of how well it's fucking filmed as a storytelling. Because now she's just like, oh fuck, there's the wife, she's the mistress, guys in the hotel. And both women are pretty pretty. He comes back in. I mean, I would not pay for that hotel room. That fucking wallpaper is ridiculous. Again, another mirror shot. So he's going to put the beast medallion on. So yeah, he's about to hump Michelle Pfeiffer, which again, I don't believe. Do not believe. Knock, knock, knock. Just get off, for fuck's sake, she's back. Blessing in disguise. He's like, oh shit. He's in room 825. It'd be funny if they did a Shining reference. 882. It's the floors, isn't it? So it's on the 8th floor. She's sacked. How the fuck did you're sacked? He's chained himself to the clay. He's an animal. You would walk in there, he's chained to the wall, you were like, right, I'm going. I mean, he does look like he's touchy-touchy when he walks in there, but yeah. I remember watching, it was probably around 2014, give or take, because I remember, after me and my wife separated, like ringing Sky and going, right, your contract's not with me, is it? So like, look, fucking scrap this. you know, because long story short, I didn't agree to Sky, and one day I came home, we had Sky, and heaven belows, my wife hadn't paid the bill, and I acquired that because I was still living in the house on my own, and I says, look, I'm willing to pay you the money, I'm not fucking, you know where I am, I'm not gonna, you know, but contract's not with me, so the contract got invited to that. I says, look, I'll cancel it now, I'll pay the cancellation fee, and I'll pay the back thing. It was fucking hundreds of pounds, and I ended up with Now TV. And I just says, look, give us Now TV. I'll stay away as a package deal. I really got off. The woman was really good on the phone because Sky never wants you to leave. Even when I tried to ring Sky recently when my grand's house being given up, they go, you sure you don't want it? And I'm like, my grand's gone in to a care home, the Alzheimer's ward. She's definitely not coming back. And she was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm fucking definitely sure. But anyway, I ended up with Sky Movies, and at that point I generally came home, and one of the things I did binge watch was Justified. Again, I think that was just free on the with one of the apps, but I watched a lot of films. I said, look, I haven't seen it before, and I remember Chinatown being one of these films, and I absolutely love Chinatown, even though like not much really happens with Chinatown. It just seems to mosey along and all that. I remember going, that's mint, Chinatown. And then I remember watching the Two Jakes, and I remember Two Jakes just being completely cropped down the side and feeling that it didn't have any kind of charm that the first one had. But yeah, story of how I ended up watching Chinatown. It's not something I would revisit. I don't think I've seen it since as well, but yep. But yeah, Jack Nicholson now, like what's going on here? I think Jack Nicholson's mint in anger management. There you go. There's a Adam Sandler flick. But yeah, she's like putting on the charm to him. Again, you could definitely take 20 minutes out of this movie between, not like this scene, because this is like really like, you know, she knows what she's getting in for here. She didn't realise he's a wolf. He thinks he's taking the piss, like, but it's the twist at the end that I can't wait to chat about. But she's kind of like daddy's girl gone bad. You know, she's independent on her own. She doesn't need anyone to look after her. You know, and she's bored. That's essentially what it is. And he, you know, he's like the guy her dad hates. He's like the guy, but he's also like, you know, at the start of this movie, before he gets bit by the wolf, you know, he's been on rough times. He's put out a book. He's bodged a book. You know, he's essentially told J.K. Rowling the book's no good. That's what it kind of he is in the book. It's not saying that J.K. Rowling's in the film, but he's essentially said, you know, the next huge thing, he passed on it, and he's like been tarted with this fucking reputation since. So that's the thing. And then obviously he's been focused on there, trying to go and get his job back. In the meantime, this apprentice, and these guys essentially fucked him over, and then fucked his wife, and he's kind of like just hit rock bottom. So she's like, can see the side of him where she's like, oh, you poor bastard. Now, you probably just heard something roll along my desk. I'm sitting with me cosy top on, and I'm thinking to myself, why does this have like a little tog in the pocket for tightness? Like, because all I wear is snowboarding coats, especially in winter. And I'm thinking, why is there a tog in here? And I've just been playing with it, and I've got my hands in there, it's freezing. And it actually is one of my dental sticks stuck in my fucking jacket. So I got the bin. But yeah, don't take that off. I'm an animal. Yeah. You would last 2 seconds with Michelle Pfeiffer. Just that gorgeous. But again, slow motion, jump the bed and bounce and pan into the window. So again, in the era where we were getting films like Basic Instinct and that, do you really want to see Jack Nicholson doing a sex scene? No. Michelle Pfeiffer? Yes. Do you want to see them do it together? No. So yeah. Again, some beautiful shots of the New York skyline. Brings it into there that it's a New York movie. I think, like, I'm sure the location is, but some of this probably would have been studio set. I can't believe they've done it. Oh, but it's the thing of the wristbands. There's the handcuffs. If you knocked on the door and your police you've been fucking there, you're like, what? But he's not there, is he? That's the thing. That one shot there, and he's out and about again. He's on the prowl, jumping around. Now he's down on all fours and howling. Ow! Yeah, great shot though. Howling at the moon. Got two actors here, like, what the fuck, jogging. The homeless man. Like, the howl is out there. I mean, we've been doing a little bit of research, but like Central Park, 6 miles, man. It's fucking huge. And then he's back in bed, but all he's been out is the howl. And then we get the police. Now, I believe before the police guy walks in is someone you would recognise. Michelle Pfeiffer's definitely selling sleep. He's definitely licked all that lipstick off her face. See, it's pretty much when they only kiss. He's not even kissing her, really. Because we didn't have a set kiss scene, did we? They haven't kissed. Oh, they're about to kiss, so there you go. Oh, it's got a tattoo of a spider. Is that a real tattoo, is it? Oh yes, it's Carl Jenkinson. Yeah, he's a really good actor. He's in quite a lot of stuff. And the other guy is in quite a bit as well, so he plays a really good character actor, him. Hello. December. Not much happening in December. Got the farewell clips. Okay. So he comes in the hotel room. One stays in there. You see right through her blouse, mind. Pull your pants up. Obviously got his wallet. I mean, it's one of those things where you turn up and go, right. Yeah. But again, because he kind of doesn't know he's done it, would that prove it? But you know, hopefully we are going at the end of this podcast. I'll be watching this later on and going, fucking hell, man, master. So my plan is do a bit of transferring, upload my Christmas show I did the other day, power down the computer, go down and play on Ghost of Tatamitsu, that's what I'm going to call it, after I've prepped all the stuff I need for this podcast, and let the podcast just master away for a couple of hours and then come back and do some more. And this again, it'll be the first time I'm going to do a 721 rather than 1080p, just for, you know, sound quality shouldn't be too different. And at the end of the day, you're a true fan if you've got this far through the podcast to me actually just waffling away. Like, wallpaper is terrible. Oh, his wife's dead. That's it, his wife's dead. And it's his wife's dead and it's James Spader. That's the curveball. See, it's all come back to us now. So yeah. I mean, if you turned up there and it's just like, right, you know, yeah, you turned up there. Where were you last night? He's just like, well, I was here all night banging her. You're like, all right. Especially with like her legit reaction. I mean, she isn't even aware that he's left, and you know, again, I thought it was you've been out murdering people. That came up the theory that they had some ID when he got mugged. Oh, I got that wallpaper. Hopefully I'm not staying in this hotel. It's around that area. But yeah, we're going to go to New Zealand, well, next year. And I've talked about just everything that's been going on with my gran and that. I was get right, because half the time I think my dad was going to be coming over next week. Everything going on, I was like, look, don't worry about it. We'll sort things out as they come. It's all on standby at the minute. And me and Brooke were talking, and she was like, well, we can do this and that. I was like, look, it would be funny, but if I go to New Zealand, I don't we want to go and do stuff, but again, I go there to stay with my family, and it's just a fucking long ass way to go. So we kind of like suddenly went, right, well, why don't we go to America and New York? And it was more the case of like, Brit's never been to America, and I was just like, well, I've never been to New York, I've been to America, but it's just been an interesting event. So yeah, one off the bucket list for me. I think is that the elevator they just turned up with a random door. It looks quite a small elevator, that. So news report there, murder, death, someone at television. There's that fucking painting again with that cheetah. James Spader's there, getting back into the fix. So he's probably over there trying to worm his way in there, and you know, he's probably, you know, William's now fucking your daughter kind of thing. He's probably stirring the pot. But again, we don't know that he's a wolf and obviously murdered his wife. Attacked by a wild animal. But again, now watch James Spader change. He's obviously gone for the change, but it's hidden away. But again, still got a plaster on his hand. Same place Jack Nicholson had one. I thought he got a bit more on the knuckle. See, he's a bit, again, he's just turning on a bit of a creep here. God, it's fucking chilly today. Like, I'm feeling the cold of the film, even though it's you know, the heating on. But yeah, this has gone well, this podcast. I'm letting my phone vibrate. Washing machine's finished. I've got an action plan for when this finished, and I'm not recording. New camera as well. We've been filming this on. Picked up a new memory card, and my God, I must have been using the wrong size memory card in the old camera. I was always struggling for space, and I keep saying like record time 19 hours. I was like 19 hours, and I've checked all the settings, and yeah. One ruthless bastard. Okay, there we go, driving there. Just got to take me to the countryside. So we are getting into the last act of the movie. I'm going to go to the countryside. You know, his wife's dead. What was me? Bowels that? Fuck me, that was a big. Fuck me. Just that car, them cars going past to seem massive. Obviously, it'll be the old school technique of the poor man's process. All the projections and stuff like that. A lot of films though, like Dire Revengeance is a good one at New York at the time of how open they were for making movies. And you know that, but then now you get across the border in Canada and doing stuff to make look like New York and just film bits and bobs that you need to, and even doing shit all the way across here in Europe and Bulgaria and stuff. His hair's getting feral again. Yeah. So I've got another year done. Yeah, full year done, so I need to create a new year and power along with that. And she nearly fucking kills everyone in the Jeep. Right, January. As Jack Nicholson's drifting off to sleep. It looks like about to drive into the estate, aren't they? So what was I do in January? I did Change for Better. I was reading Brian Freeman's Season of Fear. I found Turtle of Mine. and it was fucking snowing. Fucking hide while he goes into the gate, whatever. Sneak him in. I see, found the animal. He looks familiar. Hi, Rick Baker. I remember when I got King Kong, I was thinking about doing the podcast for that. It was pretty long, the uncut version. And Rick Baker does the audio comedy, but I think the audio comedy is like phased in, because there's been a couple of comedies I've listened to recently where it just seems to be dropped in, not talking specifically about the movie. I think Tremors 2 is similar. And very interesting with Rick Baker, because like he was young, he went for the job for King Kong, making this suit and gorilla thing, and then they had another Italian guy, I think, making this, saying he can make a 100-foot robot and stuff like that. And you know, that's where Rick Baker really got his foot to the ground, and even like the subtly going, right, the guy's going to change, but he's not fully going to change. By the end of it, he's going to change into a wolf, which we're going to get there soon. But look, subtle things, because we're not going like full on Wolfman and like going close reins and like the way that Lou Clancy did and Lone Clancy did in the original, and the Wolfman, and like where George Wagner was going back in the day. You know, because I think that's where people would have thought you went, but she's sort of like, she's just realised, fuck. You know, she's starting to, yeah, she's realised, fuck. But again, we don't know James Spader is the fucking lunatic. So again, the kind of actor you want to be, say for example, like, oh, it's that guy. Would you want to be that guy or that guy where, you know, you make a living of being like an actor and you keep on working, and then you work all year round, and then you end up having some success in big films? But like a lot of actors like that make films and they're never seen. And this is what I was talking yesterday with somebody, where they're on about like, oh, Netflix has got everything. I'm like, don't have Netflix. You kind of need to subscribe to everything, and it's going to cost you, if you play by the rules, about 50 quid a month if you want all the streaming sites what's got every fucking movie. Or you go out there and you buy a show, and it's your show for how long ever you want it. And like, that's what you get with like you know, like investing in movies, and you know, like people making movies to get out there, and like availability. Because if you make a movie and it never gets released, how do you make your money on it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, she's now shitting herself. And he's gone. He's gone. She's like, oh fuck. And there we go, the shadow. But again, he doesn't remember anything, does he? So she's like, oh my god, shit the bed. Sorry, I just needed to make sure I didn't take any of the JPEGs of us on this one. And just create a little file. It's fucking crazy when you're transferring footage back, man. It's just like, Jesus, I don't fucking remember filming it. But again, she's like, shit. He's looking rough. And James Spader is about to make his presence in a bit. Seeking revenge. Even there, like the redness in her eyes. Like, what have I got myself into? Did he murder his wife? You know, she's just about to fall for him. Really fall for him. You know, she's opened up. And then it's just like, well, you turn. Oh, it's pacing in his gate. It's going to make no sense to anyone listening to that, but I remember my mate Payson at this time in 2014 had ordered this fence, and it came, and he tried to justify it as, you've got a 2-foot gap between your gateposts, mate. Right, so we're in the barn. He's in there. You know, she's about to sort of. Does she go and interview the cops or something like that? The moon's going down. She goes in for the interview, doesn't she? Yeah, she goes in the interview there, and obviously she encounters James Spader, and this is the first time you really see James Spader's sort of like, fuck. Again, no computers at the police business. It's all paperwork. It's you know, typing stuff out. There's the Twin Towers. Panning shot there. It's a big ass place. Yeah, driving back. So she's commuting back into town to be interviewed. Left him in the fucking warehouse. But at the end, she's a beast. Now, I don't know if she gets bitten or... that's done it again. I think that's under the question. The ears are now in here. He's almost about to take full new form. Horse freaking out. And it's burning a minute. The cop station as well, very similar. It looks like the cop station used in Die Hard with Vengeance. Just the whole ascending up. And obviously you don't see James Spader's already in the background. And then he's got the creepiness on there because it's in his eyes. And this is where you realise he's the creep. Then there, look at the eyes. Absolutely terrifying. And that's the first sign you get to see that James Spader's now a wolf. And he's about to come there. And then she realises, oh, he's the fucker. Sorry, I'm just shifting some shit over. There's actually a render of the original video. That's alright. Okay. So, got another month done. They get bigger and bigger the months as the years go by. The transition into high definition rather than tape. Yeah, James Spader putting on the creepiness. Again, where you could take 20 minutes out there and, you know, there's a storyboards. I think they would have chopped it out a bit more out. But it's the contacts. Contacts are... I can't get contacts in my eyes. I meant to wear glasses, to be honest. I just picked them up there. I don't think I've had these on for ages. They've got dust on. Hang on. Ow, my arm! God, these are so dusty. Yeah, everything does have a little bit more of a crisp. But... oh, they need cleaning. Oh, they have got so much dust on it. Yeah, I can't get contacts in. Like glass contacts as well. But... yeah, she does a legger. Now she's driving back. And now we're going to go into the final act of the movie. As he tries to lay a thick foundation, you know. He was getting promoted. He was fucking the wife. He gives the motive of, you know, death. What the fuck's that on his desk? I have no idea. It's zooming past now. It looks so weird. Again, so much paperwork because we don't have a computer. Oh, what I was doing is done. Okay. So, got another month to do. Powering along with this. February is just an open month. Oh, we're back to Bible stuff. When I cut my beard off was February. So February's probably got quite a bit in there. 5.9 gig. Oh, car phone. Nearly missed that. So, the moon is rising. We head into the final chapter of this. Jack Nicholson's now on the floor. Feeling it. And here we go. Probably one of the few special effects in the movie, if it's not done practical. I think that could possibly just been done with a nice remote. That I don't think that was digital effects. They were starting to heat up. James Spader still laying it down. James Spader was really good at delivering nonsense space theories in Stargate. But again, Michael Shraksu would take on Danielson, would do a lot more, I think. Starting in it. Starting. I don't believe it. Chairs on Stephen in his editing room. This is the 4th chair I've had in my editing room. It's been a lot better for me back. I had this sort of half curve one, which was a ton when you shifted it. Very lazy sitting in it. But this is definitely better, but it's starting to creak. Mesmerising eyes. You would think, looking at him, like as a detective, not like looking at them stupid, but you would look at them and go, the fuck's he on? You know what I mean? Look at them eyes, like, are you on drugs? It's like, do you want to drug test him before you let him go? His pupils are fucking massive, right? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And I think that's the last you see of the cops there. Right, the Jeep's on the roll. And he's essentially now freaked out. It's all about the eyes. Again, it's down to the actors. You know, Wolf, something behind the eye. I mean, they're fucking fairly zooming in the eyes there. Getting the contacts in and going for it. Again, look at the crane shots now over the stables. That's showing you that's how he could get out if he could leap that high. So it's kind of showing you that he's not like bound in there in a way, which is kind of flaw in the plan where they've left him in the stables to have a nap. That's definitely not Jack Nicholson on the floor. That is. He's rested. So she's just got back. She's saying there, don't let anyone in. I don't see the security guard. Yeah, taking his job a bit too serious. Now, James Spader would not be... I mean, he would be a little bit behind her, but... You wouldn't let him in, would you? It's the bit where he just looks at him funny. Ready? Hello. See, the guard realises he's something wrong with him. Do you know what I mean? He's like, what the fuck are you on? Oh, see, it's Aldale Farm they live on. Closed set. He's just like, right, you're going to let me in. Again... They've done just little bits with the hair and all that, and then the teeth. Not much more than like vampire. Again, I mean, it's a very close thing between a vampire and that. He just runs him over, doesn't he? The old fashioned under the car. Oh, right in the crotch, and then you see the guy roll in the background, and again, a lot of fun that, you know. Obviously, I think they've done a lot there without damaging the road and just, you know, very worked out shots, especially for the stunt guy and how he's going to go under and stuff. And then the Jeep just crunching around. And then James Spader in full-on wolf mode now. Obviously raised his eyebrow up. Like a feral look. And like fair play to him, he just looks buff, and his guy's just like, hey man, what are you doing? What are you fucking tweaking on? Ah, see there again, biting him on the neck, vampire. Could have just sort of give this guy like an ultimate backhand with like scratches and then mark the guy's face. I wouldn't be going full on like go for. I mean, again, animals do go for the throats and shit like that, but like at the moment, it might as well be called vamp. You know what I mean? Because they're all like kind of looking feral vampire-y. Now she's like sort of like, she's now like and he's on the floor. His eyes are still moving there. First bit of blood in there for a bit. And we're about to have the barn room brawl, I should say. And holy shit, have I done another month already? So he's Jim Spader. Can definitely turn on the full creep. Right, got another month done. Flying along here. Jim Spader covered in blood fully. See, he looks like more the old school Wolfman. Like the Wolfman you kind of would expect. Oh, say March is a lot filmed in March, I tell you. And Michelle Pfeiffer does well. See if yeah, she's now shitting himself. But he definitely looks more the old-fashioned Universal Wolfman. Remember watching one of the Wolfmen at Belle's house when I was younger, but it's not the classical one, and just sense of like just a creature out there like fucking hell, like wolf-like, you know, feral. But again, it's the whole thing about mix of bloods and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, what if, you know, there was mutation and stuff, and like there was sort of like origins of wolves and monkeys and all this kind of weird stuff. Get the fire extinguisher in his face there. Psh, it's a fucking uppercut with it. Again, the feralness there, and then whoom, out of the smoke, more of the lunge. Falling on the horror, and then you're not getting out. Embrace the wolf. So she might get marked here, obviously, in its strength to climb. But he's just hitting them bars there, and they look a bit wobbly, but yeah. And off comes the medallion. It's like the fucking Incredible Hulk moment. Don't you touch my girl! So, March 2015 was the birth of Looney Tunes Entertainment. Write that down. Gonna say that's when I filmed the logo. It's a bit of a rapey scene coming on here. Fucking horse gone wild. Credit to Michelle Pfeiffer, she's well into this. Even that scene there, that whole... that is quite a graphic scene as well. Because up until I think that, this is a 12 in my opinion, up until stuff like that in the blood with the guy's throat. I think this really tibble tabbles around the 12 rating. But yeah, that rapey scene there. And then boom, we get the brawl. The Wolfmen brawl. And again, it's sort of like, you know, just the inner cuts here, like the more animatronic side stuff, like the inner cuts where you just the open mouth jaws, and you know, just again watch the stunt guy and watch James Spader. That's James Spader from close, but it's not really from afar. Jack Nicholson's again really going for it, stabbed to death there. Now they're out on the run. And like, fair play, like, oof, I mean, what a stunt. Again though, what a stunt, but then the cut to pouncing, it's sort of like, you know, you don't get the full cut. And then just gorilla pressed over there. Thrown on the steps, I mean, fucking hell. I mean, that's, you know, like a full-on body, that. Is that how he kills him? Jack Nicholson's like fully in the wolf mode now. No, he's not dead. He's a wolf. But the makeup's really kicked another gear. Rick Baker actually did the makeup on Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, just the age and stuff, you know, that's where he's done his field. Oh, fucking, the burning's about to happen with the garden snippers. Oof. Are they silver bullets, or are you just fucking blasting them to fuck? Just shot him to death. He might be dead, because he's probably not full wolf. But they're full on, like, the last bit you see Jack Nicholson there, that's maybe, you know, because they've went along the morphing side and then shown that he's dead, we're going to get a morph here between the two shots, which is nicely done. Yeah. The security card. Where'd she get the gun from? Pan down the security card, still dead. So yeah. So she's not showing any signs of scratching and all that, but it's kind of like she's now a wolf. Because obviously that's the, for a 94 film, a twist at the end. You know. And then this is what I don't get about the movie. He fucking runs off in the woods to become a wolf. It's like, as he's running, and I'm like, you know, they give a fucking handshake goodbye. I don't get the ending on that. But they're not just going to live there and be wolf people in the woods, and you know, she's a billionaire. They could hide it. No. I know what I must do. I must become a wolf man. A wolf. She's just like, what the fuck? And off he goes into the woods. We get the run. So this has gone pretty fast for me. I thought it was going to be a bit longer than this. As you say, you get scenes now of him fully fucking embracing the wolf, getting hairier and hairier. I mean, he's just ripped his coat off there, but he's still got it on. Alright, we'll forgive that one. Probably wouldn't have seen that on VHS back in the day. Obviously here comes the cops. This to me though shows you that this bit is a set, because of how high they've got that camera. It's obviously on the top of the studio roof. Obviously I'm not saying the house at the start was a fakey, but obviously there. But you can see now she's came out there. There's, you know what I mean, you can see something's completely different from the start. Fully on fucking Catwoman mode here with the fucking tight fucking thing on. Her eyes are a little bit different. Cops are here, Christopher Plummer's here. And you get another twist that she's now a wolf woman. Again, could there have been a wolf too with her? It's the 90s, isn't it? You know, I always remember, like, what was the internet? Oh, they might do a sequel, you know. Like, I think by this point in the early 90s, they had stopped leaving, like, Easter eggs, like Flash Gordon and Masters of the Universe or Pray the Roller Boys, where they would fucking leave it open hoping for a sequel. They weren't doing all like that. It was just a one-off movie, and like Total Recall, leaves you wondering, what the fuck? What? And, you know, that's what you kind of... There's the longevity of it. I think looking back at this, except for this weird ending, where she's now morphing into a woman, and it's, you know, it's more, you know, you're going in the movie to see a wolf movie and you get that at the end, but like, it's such a slow burner up until that point. I think it's really well filmed, and I think Nicholson, Spade and Pfeiffer are all mint, and even Plummer and Jenkins, who come along as support cast, really is there. And even like looking for what was best. I mean, casting David Schwimmer just before Friends, showing that, oh yeah, he's good, and get him in there and look at where he would become within the next couple of years. I'm sure she actually had, does not something happen with her eyes? And she kisses her dad. Hey dad. Boom. She walks off. And even he's just like, fuck. I mean, he's completely infatuated with her. He ain't fucking suing her for shit. He's just like, yep. Where's she walking to? It's not the labyrinth. Go left or right? I'm going to the Goblin King. So here you go. She's now got the eyes in. And contacts. Not as yellow as the box do, but it's enough there to go fucking hell. And that's it. You just, if you're paying attention to that movie, you see the eyes, and then, oh, again, it's going to go here. If you didn't catch it, it's going to show you. And then, it didn't need that bit of her face. That was enough of her walking down there. And then here we go. Jack Nicholson, which looks like a freeze frame, into a really bad eyes of a wolf, to a wolf there, blinking. And then it pans back. And now he's a real wolf, and now it's going backwards. Back to her. Into the eyes. The eyes go a little yellow, what they are in the movie. Holding on it. Holding. Fade to black. The eyes are slightly there, like the cat's fucking box. And boom, that's the movie. I just don't get the fucking ending of that. Is Jack Nicholson now just a wolf? Is Jack Nicholson just ran off in the wilderness and be a woods? Her becoming a wolf, inevitably she's going to become a wolf. And they've got this kind of pathological link. She never once gets bitten, so you're trying to say he fucked her and she turned into a wolf. It's just like, so that means his wife would have been a wolf. You know, so yeah. As a movie though, I've got love for it. Again, going back to that quad I seen back in the day in the cinemas. And then the countdown to VHS, the flip covers, the artwork. I think the artwork's really good. Think Indicator, I'm not disrespecting Indicator. It looked amazing. It has extra features. But they seem to be like, unlike, they just seem to be very like, there's a lot of Jack Nicholson's on Indicator. There's a few John Carpenter's like vampires in Ghost of Mars on Indicator. So Indicator's picking up stuff and just creeping around where Arrow doesn't. But it's weird that Wolf would kind of end up on Indicator, in my opinion. As I said, it seems to be, I mean, it's Columbia Pictures one, so Columbia just obviously went into a bit of a turmoil at some points. But yeah, it's kind of like looking at it and going, how did that happen? I like it. I know some people would look at it and go, right, well, it's not a werewolf movie, blood and guts until the very end. It's a slow burner. There you go, Cops, David Schwimmer. Doesn't he? Just Cops, David Schwimmer. I'm glad I've got this one done and in the bag. As I said, we will be mastering this slightly different. The score is great. Soundtrack available on Columbia Pictures. Rick Baker. Yeah, so it is out there on Indicator label. As I say, you don't get a commentary track. It doesn't have a steelbook or anything. A steelbook of it will look sick. It just float around there. But yeah, there's no hidden bits and features. As I said, I think with the ending, is he a wolf? Now he's not a wolf. You know, what the fuck? I mean, at the end of the day, he runs off into the woods. I mean, there's no point in running off to the woods. Filmed in location in California, so a lot of film was filmed on location in California. A lot of New York funked at the end there. 1994 copyrighted. But like, he runs off in the woods. He becomes a wolf. Okay. She's now going to become a wolf. I mean, where's that? I mean, she's a billionaire of the heritage or whatever. He's got the job he wanted. They can blame it all on James Spader. They're off scot-free. Right. Thank you very much for listening to this waffle. If you're still here at the area end, thank you very much for supporting us and listening as always. And if you're just still watching this waiting for the film to start, then what the fuck? And I'll say Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.